And don't forget, hit the bell at the right side of the screen so you'll be notified when a new episode drops every week. Don't forget, click like and subscribe.
What's up? Welcome to another episode of Crazy.
Sexy.
Cool.
What's goody?
What's up? Well, let's make a toast.
Yes.
I heard it said that they liked the last toast, so we're going to do it again. Okay? I'm good in any hood, but I get further with my sisterhood.
Thank you, sister.
Okay,
Checking
I'm
the
gonna need
eyes,
some
looking for
energy
the
for
eyes.
y'all. I'm a little
Look in the
tired.
Okay, wake it up.
Look in the eyes. That's why we have to look in the eyes.
Come
Let's
on,
go.
It's about,
Let's go.
that tastes amazing. Shouts to Eve.
Shouts, Eve. Let's go. Get in the
Shout
groove
out to
right.
Eve.
What's going on?
What's goody? What y'all give them? What's goody? What we doing?
Well, I'm a little like jet lagged.
Y'all give them worn out.
Girl, I am jet lag boots. I'm so tired, but I'm also grateful. So I'm trying to keep the balance between the complaining and being grateful that I'm able to be jet lagged. If that makes sense.
Whitney Houston. What's that Whitney Houston video where she had the
You better lay low.
What was y'all? How was your week?
My week was okay.
Well, we've been away for a while. It's mashing. You were just in LA.
Well, first of all, yes, I definitely also want to take the opportunity to shout out Rochester. It was great flying out there. Savannah, Britton, Chanel, and everyone made me feel so welcome. Shout out to the Transmen crew that's out there that came and showed the girls love. It was really good. I had about, I would say, 2-day reprieve before I had to go back out to LA. And Divine, Rose, and Miles had really took care of me and covered me and made sure that I was comfortable. I love LA. I love the energy of LA. It's just like you could be having a bad day and something about the sun and the trees, you kind of just go to a different place and you can disassociate from it. So shouts to the Overness Leadership Summit that they had there with Twiggy and so many others. It was an amazing opportunity. Mark Tishi and everyone had some great positive feedback for me at the end of the Leadership Summit. So I'll be flying again to Boston. So it's just I'm trying to pace myself with school, work, and the travel. So therefore, I cannot complain about it, but be grateful for the opportunities.
You was on vacation.
Right.
I've been back from vacation.
Oh,
But we haven't talked since.
We did.
but we actually did talk
We did, and I
about
have
it.
gifts for you guys, and I keep forgetting to bring them.
You can keep your gift.
Yes, that's the Tabytha I want. No, I'm just kidding. You know what, my gift, girl? I got you some press-on nails, bitch. How about that? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but I did get you guys gifts from Dominican Republic. I just keep forgetting to bring them. But yeah, so no, I've been back from vacation. I actually have a busy week coming up. Halloween is coming. We'll be past Halloween by then, but
Are you doing anything following?
Huh?
You doing
I am.
anything?
I'm on the flow. I get to ride through the village on the flow. Andre DeShields, not dropping names or anything, but no. Andre wanted me to be on his flow. He's the Grandmaster this year. So I'll be on the float of the parade in the village. I've always gone, but I haven't been in the last couple of years. So to be able to participate in it is going to be fun for me. Plus, I have a performance at a gala this week, a big gala and stuff. So I've been in rehearsals and stuff for this week and for different performances.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. I'm so excited for that. Like
Yeah.
I really am. You know, like bitch. This is that's why I say for 2025 it's just gonna be it's up.
Yeah.
It's up for you. And I get excited for you. You know that this is not just for the camera. You know, like I'm always like work. Like I'm so excited because like you're so humble and modest with it. You
I
know?
don't know no other way because I'm like, bitch, there's some times that I just want more. so I'm just thankful and grateful because I'm like, I be in the emails, I be like, my best friend could tell you, I'm like, bitch, they asked me if I'm available, then they ain't hit me back, what's going on? Then you'll get a sickening book, like, you know what I'm saying? So you just got to stay thankful and grateful. And
Amen.
Just wait to settle in.
So what's going on with you?
I was just in Australia. I had to see the family, of course. That was amazing.
Shouts to Australia.
Oh, that's where you went to Australia? That's good.
Yeah. And then I had surgery.
That was with a bar, bitch, where you had to
Yeah.
She ate that
She been
up.
cranking up her motherfucking videos lately, bitch. Bitch, you is not playing with your motherfucking LSSs and stuff. I said, okay. So a storm is coming, bitch. Be prepared, bitch. That's a bitch is coming.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know. But no, Australia was beautiful. I had a good time. It was good seeing my friends and family and stuff. It's always good seeing them. But then I had surgery a week and a half ago. So.
Okay, and you documented that. So that's
I had the neo graft surgery, the hair
Okay.
graft surgery.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you feeling overall?
I feel good. I love it. I love the procedure.
You see
it was
it already?
beautiful. Yeah. Well, you see what it's going to look like.
Okay.
So is it true like in the beginning some of it falls off and then the hair starts
All
to
of
go?
it falls off, and once it's falls off, it starts
All of
growing.
it falls off?
Once it falls off,
Bitch,
it
let us
starts.
see that head, Mr.
She came in on one.
Bitch.
Oh no.
Ooh, do
A
you
check. We're getting a check.
Wait, so do you go through, like, cause you know how with surgery, like, you know, we talk about the surgeries and you know how we feel afterwards, bitch, but what you go through like a few days after or like through the healing stage, a lot of times some people get depressed and shit and you be like, oh.
This one, no, because this was like ever since like I had, you know, a surgery that left a scar there, I wanted to cover that up.
Oh, so
I
fix
really,
that.
really wanted that. So
The
I didn't care
hairline
about.
surgery. That hairline surgery, bitch, that shit be fucking people up.
Because they leave you
So
with a
make sure you
scar.
research, yes, or bitch, some people you get that straight across the line. Bitch, we talk about surgeries and what they do, but we don't never talk about sometimes the outcome. So be careful, y'all.
But I
be ready
think
to
a
jump
lot
on
of
them
us
tables.
keep a lot of that stuff. Like we talk to our close circles when we're going through
Yeah.
like the journey. And I think that it's so brave when people actually document that and put that out there. At one point, I felt like it's it's oversaturation, like you're giving too much information away.
I think when you just doing it like, oh, I got my, you know what I'm saying? Like when you just want to show that you got some surgery, like I don't really like all of that. But if you're helping someone, I mean, you, it's your business, but I just like, I get tired of seeing the raps and all that type of stuff. I feel like it, cause I did document mine too. And I do have videos, and bitch, I look fierce, and I still be like, when am I gonna show that? Because I don't know if I want to be that vulnerable. But I do think that it helps somebody. Like people don't know, like what I've done. I talked about taking the silicone out of my face, so bitch, afterwards I was like swelled up and everything. But so it's a lot behind it, and like the silicone in my body, I've never shown anybody pictures, but once it's fixed. Then I'll show. Then I'll show because they be want to use shit against us that they don't realize that we motherfucking go through silently.
who we are.
That you can't be honest because we come from a community that tends to take your adversity and use it against you.
It's
know?
such a key though. I feel like we're in that era of we're all waking up and we really don't. I personally don't give a fuck because even if you see that picture, it's like what you sitting in front of now. Like what we talking about? Like what we talking about? Like
Right.
we all like. I really don't really care. Like I think we are in this place, and that's why I do love this generation because I feel like everyone is standing standing on business on protecting their peace and being their person, and you're not going to throw things back in my face to make yourself feel better.
So I think you're right when you say that. I think a lot of us are waking up to like a lot of different things personally and collectively. Like myself, like I just like started to, it's not that I don't give a fuck. It's just that I'd rather protect what I have as opposed to proving to you that I'm right, because that takes so much energy from me. So whether you agree with me or not, I'm going to stand on how I feel, what I feel about something, and I have the right to choose my mind. And I think that when people target and they use your obstacles or your struggles against you, it's because they are unwilling to see you win. There was a post that someone made. I'm going to go ahead and shout out Tati. She had said, you wouldn't have to move in silence if everybody around you wants you to win. And that resonated with me so much because while I was in LA, I did talk about the both of you, and I did say like how important it was for me, and it is for me, to have people that I can talk to when I'm going through like those difficult moments. And I think because you know, we have these issues when people call us to check in on us. It's given, oh, Miss Thing, what does she want? She can't help me. I've seen those posts too. I'm not telling nobody nothing because can't nobody help me. You're not going to do nothing about it. And my thing is that's true, and you just have to figure out who you want to talk to.
I made a post something about that too, like where it comes to not speaking things, because I believe in speaking things into existence or whatever. So where does that line teeter? I also said something like, why is that person's prayer stronger than mine? Like if you say don't put something out in the universe because people are praying against it, or like people are saying negative things against them, why do I feel like that person's prayer or whatever it is that they're doing can affect me? Like, and I've seen some people say, well, there's people who do voodoo and stuff like that, but I don't feel like voodoo can affect, like I feel like if you're covered and you're walking in a certain, like whatever's for me is for me. So what do they have to do with me? But my dad did always say, stop telling what you know you're doing, just go ahead and do it, and then they'll just see the results. So I do get it from that. But sometimes, you know, and as a Cancer especially, I'm gonna tell my close friends, like, you know, and I do speak things into existence, like, bitch, I'm like, no, this is gonna happen.
And my friends have to ask me. They be like, girl, what are you doing now? What's going on? Where are you? Like, I don't really tell people anything because I've been so independent, and I actually like it. It kind of leaves people asking questions that I don't like people asking questions that you don't need to be asking. Like, that's not your business. Like, I don't like to, like, I am private. I'm kind of private.
And see, I'm against that because
it.
I feel like you're not celebrating me. Like, if we're not asking each other what we're doing, then we're not motivating each other, or we don't seem like we're interested.
We're having those type of conversations. But I feel like some people be asking for things just to kind of, like you just said, like I just said.
So how do you find the balance? Right. So how do you find the balance between? And this is what I'm saying. For me, I always say it begins and ends with you, right? You have to be able to rightfully understand who you can go to and who you talk to. I'm not going to be in this, if I have to, and I'm just at a point in my life where I'm not going to be around somebody if you're questioning my integrity or my trust. Like, I don't feel like if I've been with you for a while, I've been around you for a while, and we've done things together and we've grown together, and I see mixy shit, I'm gonna get away from you. For the simple fact that I don't feel like I wanna have to keep trying to prove myself to you and give you that power. Right? So 9 times out of 10, when we're talking to people and we have to ask those questions or we don't want to tell those people, that's a signal to you about the person. And then you have to decide what you want to do with that. Does that make sense? And I'm okay with like separation and growing together. I'm okay with accountability. It's just that one of the reasons why I post a lot of my stuff is to show people that it can happen, that you can follow through, that you can go to school, that you can do these things. And no one else's prayer is stronger than yours if you pray and you believe and you move according, but you got to put the work behind the faith. You see what I'm saying? So what are you doing to actualize those things that you're praying about? And if you tell somebody something, there ain't nothing in heaven or hell that you can do to block what's for somebody. It's not going to happen.
I just feel like some people just not into that though. Like I feel like some people is not into explaining like or telling people their business, especially people who are very independent. They have it in their mind that's a system that they built to just live their life, and some people just move like that. For me, I always tell everything I do because I like on Facebook, on social media. I don't mind speaking the things that I'm going through, and for that is because I want to put it out there first before someone else get the chance to do it.
I also believe that in this generation, a lot of things come through media. And I think one thing that I learned about in Los Angeles from David, I forget his house name, but one thing he did
I love
say,
the way
what?
she drops names. We had a conversation about this, and we'll go into this after.
Yeah, I'm going to speak about that because it's important. It's important that we do that, though. And a lot of people will frown. No, it is important. It's important.
It just comes across sometimes like some people wouldn't understand it because sometimes you wonder if a person is authentic because we don't do it as much as we should.
Right.
I said that.
And I think that's the problem.
Because Tabytha does it a lot. She does not forget anyone. When you look back on that, that's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
But it does look kind of, some people, probably some people look at it like, what is her motive?
So here's the thing.
I realized that that's just her, and it's a wonderful thing.
No, here's the thing. I think for so long, we try to feel as though that it can only be me and not you. And if I name you in this space and it takes away from me, if I say that you help me, then the reflection goes to you. And it's always this competitive thing that we don't want to give people their roses. You see people repost shit that ain't theirs. You see a lot, and they don't give people the credit to do. So my thing is, it's important that we celebrate how we help each other because the media will paint it differently. So when we have a platform, it's important that we tell all the little pieces that happen so other people can understand. Because at the end of the day, you'll get somebody that say, "Oh, well, bitch, back in the day, I swiped her on the train and I fed that bitch and she don't even thank me." So and not doing it as a tool to alleviate that, but come on, let's not act like we don't deal with that. So my reason for naming people, like people who don't want you to win, or people who will get upset and say, "Oh, well, you forgot about me because back in the day we used to do this." That's why I say get away from the back in the day people who always want to remind you of who you were back in the day, especially if that's not who you are today. But I name people because it's important to bring them into the space. And I will say they taught me one thing about it's important that we as Ballroom and as our community change society's views on how they see us, and we have the opportunities when we create these social media pages. What are you doing that's changing the people's perception? Do you even care? Don't you care? It's all up to you. But for me,
you say you want to change people's
perception on how they view us.
I'm the type of
again, that's like, different. I said it's a choice.
I don't care what people
think,
and I think that's the problem. Yeah, I agree, but we're about it's but we, that's the conversation. Like I feel when it comes to that, I think that's the problem. I feel we're so worried about what people see us as. Like we're human. Like I don't need to tell you who we are, what we give. We're all different. We all give different things. I don't need to explain that to you. Who are you to explain that to?
And when you get older, you start realizing you don't want to be imprisoned by other people's thoughts.
Right. No, it's not like, for me.
Start, I understand
what
you're saying.
I'm saying, no, for me, it has nothing to do.
People are going to think what they want to think regardless.
No, I get that. This is not me trying to change a person's view on me specifically.
On the community, you said
that.
But
here's the thing. As an educator, because that's what I do. As an educator, it's important that I educate and empower people on how to treat us accordingly and respect people. Everyone is not going to get it. It is not wrong to inform and empower people. And that's something that I call, that's something that I subscribe to, that's something that I do. That's not everybody. People have the opportunity to do whatever. What I realize is that I'm the all-star player on my team. Right? And in my movie, I'm the main character. In your movie, you're the main character and vice versa.
I'm the main character in everybody's movie.
I don't know, baby.
Right.
That's just in yours.
Bitch, we're sharing.
But I understand what I'm saying.
Sharing
Like,
characters.
it's a personal thing for everyone. So for me, like when he said that, it kind of made me understand the power of having a platform. You know, the power of what you do with your platform. And I think about all the amazing women around me who constantly put positive stuff on their platform, but they give you a personal look into their lives. They're personable. And that's what I gravitate to. And it's those clickbaits or those stories that I see that I'm like, I needed to hear that right now. I needed to see that right now. So if there were no people to do that, where the hell would we be at? So it's important that we understand that each one of us has a different responsibility. Do what you want with it. But with me, I look to try to, make it easier, not just for me, but for those who come behind me.
I agree. I'm the same.
That's
Yeah,
it.
so I'm so glad. So we have our guests. What I love is that on this show that we represent everything. Like, we give Femme Queen, Trans Men, GNC. We make sure that we let everyone speak their piece from their point of view and how they feel. And we have the trans men on the show today. And trans men, I feel like right now are like the talk of the town.
Do you think so?
I do. Like, there was once like Femme Queens who would be like the Femme Queens, so now the trans men is like the ones that everyone is at. Everyone wants.
Yeah, because the world is a circus. They need someone to be there. It's a circus. The world is a circus.
Girl, what the hell is a circus?
Because when we say stuff like that, is this person, is this community time?
That's how they
that
make it.
mean? That
No,
sounds crazy.
I feel like that's
like it's a show. That sounds like.
I feel like that's what they're doing. I feel like all you
are
see,
they or
all
are
the
we doing it?
No, all the conversations
right.
in community, on social media, everybody, I feel like, is fetishizing. It's very, I want a trans man. I want this. I want that. Like, I feel like it's their time to be fetishized. Like, they're now coming to the spotlight. When trans men have been around for a while, a lot of them, I feel like, were just stealth or, whatever. But now it's like once there was a topic, it was the trans woman. It was the same thing. Like, everybody was talking about the trans woman. Trans women had been around. Like, we just wasn't out there. Like, the girls are now like, oh, I'm trans, we're here, get used to it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like now that's happening with the trans men. Yeah. And I'm glad that we can speak to them from their point of view of how they feel about that.
I think it's important that, as we talk to trans men and trans masculine, because that's another topic that I want them to unpack as well, because we have this language that kind of describes who we are as a person, or they will use terminologies to describe who
trans
they are.
men.
I'll let trans men and trans masculine folk, when they get on this panel, break that down.
Okay.
For me, I think it's important that we incorporate everyone's voice. We've had the intersections of multiple identities sitting on one couch, having their conversations, and this is what I mean about platform, giving the people the opportunity to change people's views on how they create these ideas or fetishize or whatever about who we are as a people. So it's important that, we continue to do that, and I think we do that well. Absolutely. So I'm happy for the panel.
Yeah, so.
AJ, you still feeling it from yesterday? What's going on, sis?
I'm not edible.
She be why she calling me out? You out? She's so fierce.
My sister is giggly mood over here.
Girl.
My sister kicked in, sis. It's all right.
Why she calling me out? Not the educator calling me out. So.
And that's another thing. Don't weaponize what I do against me.
She loves to say that, right?
You know.
Yeah, I just had to give you your name. You said I got to introduce you.
The educator.
We
go through.
I gotta say the name.
Y'all see what we go through?
Well, when we come back, we have
the sexy.
When we come back, we're gonna have a conversation with the trans men and trans masculine. And if I'm forgetting anything,
it's okay, my love. please stay locked in. So when we come back, we'll have a panel of our siblings that's going to come in and hit the couch with us. Stay tuned. Hey, don't forget to click, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. And hit the bell notification in the right-hand side of your screen so you'll be notified when we drop new episodes every week, Wednesdays at 12 o'clock. Continue to follow Femme Queen Crazy, Sexy, and Cool. We are back, and we are joined by our three siblings. We have Ness007, we have Chinxx, Miyake, Mugler, and we have Devin-Norelle, Mason, Margello. Welcome to the couch, everyone.
Thank you for having us.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. You know, you just gotta lighten the load.
What did I do to you? That was personal.
I'm just kidding. Don't be like that. Just wait till we get into this conversation.
Oh no.
Yes. So I'm going to lob it to Tempress, but I know that we definitely have some conversations that, you know, it's important that I would like to bring out during the panel would be like the transmasculine and trans.
I think we should jump right into that. Like
You think we should?
Yeah, since we left off with that, and so I think that we could start it off by saying what's the difference between a trans man and being transmasculine.
So transmasculine encapsulates everybody that. How do I describe it? It encompasses everyone. I don't want to say that transitions, but pretty much that transitions from A to B, that being assigned a woman at birth to whatever it may be that isn't necessarily a man. So you can be a trans man and on the transmasculine spectrum, or you can be a non-binary person and on the transmasculine spectrum.
Which you're non-binary and on the transmasculine spectrum.
Correct.
Spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And you.
So
and can I just add something to that?
But do y'all, like the whole breakdown of how you each get to determine how you show up in the world was very important because you said transmasculine. I mean, you said trans man, you said transmasculine, the spectrum, you being non-binary, but also being able to intersect into a trans male or transmasculine identity. And you were saying, I'm a man of trans experience.
I would say I'm perceived as a man, but I don't identify as a man or a woman for that matter. So, but I know that there are things that come with being perceived as a man in society. So I'm not going to deny that experience.
Right.
So, you know what's very interesting? So I was walking down the street and I was having the hardest, me and you was having a conversation before, so I'm glad that you're sitting on the couch so we can go ahead and finish that conversation. So I remember, like with the whole, because I was a little thrown, you know, but the way you broke it down, it was great, you know, the trans-masculine and not being a trans man. And I had the problem of always saying, when someone alters their body to look a certain way, you know, I was like, but you had like, things done right to that would be considered male presenting, right? And so, and then you were like, but you're non-binary,
right?
So, explain to people why that doesn't matter. Like, so I had the epiphany the other day. I was like, so maybe people go by non-binary that transition because they feel like, even though, I don't know what I was thinking, like, even though, like, they don't, like, so I can see, like, from a trans girl's point of view, like, since there's so much pushback on us being women, and you know that you're not a male, you don't identify as a male, it's just like, well, then I'm non-binary.
Wait, say that again.
Because you feel like, because there's so much pushback, like, you know, from cis women saying, no, you're not a woman. And from society telling us trans women that we're not women.
Okay.
And we know that we don't identify as a man. And so we transition to look more of the part of what we feel comfortable. And so they just end up saying, I'm just non-binary because they don't want to go against that.
Well, what they're saying is wrong because at the end of the day, it always comes down to how you feel and how you identify, right? So people just try to put people in boxes. At the end of the day, all bodies are non-binary because gender is a social construct created by whiteness. And so, and gender was not created for black people. Remember, gender was also created to allow slavery to exist, to justify slavery and to justify control over black bodies. So when people are putting you in a box, that's the extension of that control. So fuck what everybody else has to say. It's how you feel at the end of the day. But yes, we still have to navigate the world with how we are being seen. And sometimes we have to push back on the ways of, hey, I identify as a woman, I'm talking about you. I don't identify as non-binary. All of us are technically non-binary. None of our bodies should be gendered, but I'm saying how I present today is a woman. I'm saying myself, me, not you, not me. I'm talking about you. You looked at me like, wait, I'm talking from your perspective. I'm saying in your case, you're saying I'm identifying as a woman. This is what womanhood looks like for me. And it isn't an attack at all on what your womanhood looks like. That's another thing that we have to talk about, is that cis people always make it seem like trans people are attacking their manhood, womanhood, etc. Just kind of the oppressor or the oppressed furthering the oppression. And we're not trying to do the oppression Olympics. And honestly, the way that we will all get by is by shutting down the patriarchy and shutting down what gender is according to white people in the way that we live by it right now. I know it was a mouthful.
No, but I'm with you.
Jump in.
No, but I'm with you. I'm with you when you write, and this is why it was important for us to break that down, because I do understand that gender was specifically created to enslave us and put like this hierarchy in place. I also know that there's a fear of women being empowered, a woman taking a lead. I also know that the divine femininity exists within each body, but how we choose to manifest that is who we are. And for years, you've had women say, well, though they're not women, yes, we are.
But there was something that you told me that I was trying to get from you that made me understand that why you would even take hormones, why you would even have any like top surgery or anything if you are just transmasculine and you don't present as a man.
Well, I don't remember what I said, but I can say this. I thought long and hard one time about if gender wasn't a thing that we had and people said he or they to me in the body that I had previously, would I have still transition? And the answer is yes, because at the end of the day, I do like the body that I'm in now, as opposed to I just don't like, I love boobs on everybody else. I just don't like them for myself, and I have pretty big ones. And if I could have donated them, I absolutely would, but it just wasn't for me. It's not what I felt comfortable in at the end of the day, regardless if people said he, they to me before transition or not.
So when did you know that you were different, that you wasn't, did you ever identify? Did you ever?
I never actually identified as trans up until I actually did the research. So that was probably after college. I was introduced to Callum Lord. My best friend took me, and that was when I made the medical change. But as far as me mentally, I always knew there was something different about me. I just didn't know what it was.
So was you showing up as a stud before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was always comfortable in clothes like this.
Okay. And what about you, Ness?
I would say I did the same. I presented as a stud at first. I even wore butch realness in the ballroom scene and things like that. But from about second to third grade, I always knew, as he said, I always knew that there was something different about me. I always felt different. I always felt like this isn't me. This isn't what I'm comfortable as. So.
How did your families feel about your transitioning, or
Well, mine, I would say, at first, to be totally honest, when I first had the conversation with my sister, my older sister, and my mom, the first thing they were worried about was me catching HIV.
That was the same. My mother said.
That's literally. She said, "No, I don't want you," and that's honestly how I was ever introduced into ballroom or anything like that. I had a uncle, which I came to find out was actually an aunt, but I was a child. I was a child at the time, so I didn't know, and my family was kind of biased to her, and I had always called her Uncle Anthony, but her spirit and her energy never gave me Uncle Anthony. Right. You know what I'm saying? She had hair down her back, all that stuff. And it's crazy because when I entered the ballroom scene, I found out that she knew Ashley Icon and she knew all these people, and it was like, wow, am I meant to be here? Am I meant to be amongst these people? What's really the situation? But they're with it now, I guess, to an extent, because I won't even say that they're totally with it, because when it comes to certain things, they're like, no, stay away from that, or go to work and just, you know. So it has its up and downs, I'll say.
Do they honor your dead name?
I never changed my name.
You never changed your name? Okay. How does your family?
My family was supportive. I came out 3 times.
Okay.
Come on.
I came out as, bisexual. That was like middle school.
Okay.
Then I came out as a lesbian end of middle school, early high school. Then I came out as trans end of high school, early college. So when I came out as trans, it was kind of like, okay, it's your life to live.
And it's so cool, you get to see different perspectives because of different age.
Agreed.
Just like a age difference. And you know, like the parents, they do things a little different.
Absolutely.
How did your parents?
That's dope.
I grew up with a 2-parent household where my parents were my mom and my grandmother, and my mom always knew. She definitely always knew. I would say y'all can see the boy in me when I was a child, and she tried to beat it out of me. But she didn't take it well when I came out and also even within the stud community or the lesbian community, people were confused by me because I was a quote unquote soft up. And I'm like, I'm your brother. Like, what you talking about? I thought I was hard as shit. But now people see it. They're like, oh, now we see it. But before you had long hair, like, what are you talking about? Like, you were girly. And I didn't think I was girly at all. But with that, because I looked so feminine, my mom is like, no, you're a girl. You know, like you can't be gay because you're just too girly. And then when I came out as trans, I mean, the fighting that we had, a lot of it physical, even up to recently. I mean, I had to cut her off briefly because she did try to physically harm me. Just so because she has this thing of wanting to have control over my body. So I was just like, oh, no, we're not doing that anymore.
That's a good topic.
That's so sad. I think that parents should know that how harmful that is, and because you are supposed to be the one that teaches us unconditional love. And that's very difficult that causes so many traumas early on when you have, and some parents just don't know what to do with that, so sometimes we have to, give them grace on that or whatever.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to like physical harm and things like that, I just think that that's a no-no. And like you said, you had to separate yourself, and sometimes that is the journey that we as trans people have to take. So speaking of that, like, let's lighten it up a little bit. Because you don't walk, you're non-binary. So what is your dating life like? Because a lot of times with us,
I'm hiding now.
Trans girls, a lot of times we try to, with the trans men, sometimes I know I have been, I'm going to say I'm guilty. I have dated trans men, and I'd be like,
Wow.
And you'd be like, what?
I
Like,
I didn't realize I was saying rude stuff sometimes.
Oh, okay.
I did it in the past until I learned. I didn't realize there were certain things that I was like, damn, I did say that.
Oh, now you know that it's kind of...
now I know that was wrong, because if somebody says certain things towards me, then I probably would have a problem with that. And I know you probably don't fall in the norm of what we, since you're not binary, you probably do things like, well, it's a kill today, but I've seen your Instagram. I know you do things, you do things your way. He does
Oh my God.
do things their way. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
for me personally, I mean, I like to say that I'm attracted to everyone, but I pretty much have only dated women of all experiences, or trans feminine people, or other non-binary people. It varies. I noticed that with queer cis women, they don't care how I show up. With trans feminine non-binary people, most of the time they don't care how I show up, but we will have conversations where it's like, well, one of us can't be clocked when we're walking down the street. And I know y'all know what that means. If one of us is clocked, it's already dangerous, but if both of us are clocked, we got even more of a situation. And then I've had the trans women that are attracted to me and like to see that masculinity and then don't get the non-binariness and are like, no, you gotta be masculine all the time. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. So It really varies, honestly.
And so your dating experience?
I date women.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you?
I date women as well. Women of all experiences. Trans experience, cisgender experience.
Okay.
What is that like for you? I mean, we were just talking about earlier, like, I feel like, you know, now trans men is like this thing. Like, you know, they make it like, you know, do you feel like it's more of a fetish? Like, you think they're fetishizing you guys?
I think I notice more cis people doing that, but I think it's starting to pick up amongst trans people who, no, let me take that back. I think a lot of trans people have been dating each other for a while, but I think there are sex in various communities of the trans community, because, you know, there's obviously a lot of sub-communities. And I think there are some trans people or trans women within that community that are like, oh my God, trans men exist. And like, and
Even the butch queens. It's like,
well, that's what I meant by cis people. I mean, that's first and foremost is like the nastiest shit I've ever heard in my life has come from cis men. And I would block every butch queen on my Facebook if I could. But there are some I said there are some nice BQs, but if I like, there's a lot of people that say no, nice. I said, but there's things that have been said to me that's like.
Wait, I'm not saying anything's wrong. I'm not insinuating that. I'm just asking the question because.
No. I have seen so much shit on social media. Can I curse on this show? Yes. I have seen so much stuff on social media, and a lot of it is normally some person, normally a cis man, will make a comment about a trans man, and then, but it happens every week, constantly, and it's like, why are we, at this point, I'm not arguing with people anymore. I'm just, blocking you out.
I think to the point I get uncomfortable. Like when they say
I know,
certain
I think it's
things.
disgusting
When you
when
talk
they
about
do that.
somebody's body and they say like
disgusting
certain
when
they do it,
things, I'm
but
like, oh God, I'd be cringing. Like
I don't
I
want
would
to say
hate for
but,
somebody to
I
do
want
that
to
to me.
say and. Right.
Everything after butt is bullshit.
Right, I don't want to say but, I want to say and your thoughts, right? And I want, and this is a conversation that I probably had with a couple of you at some point about like this whole conversation around T for T. And you know how it became like a trend at one time.
Not T, not the big capital T, but like.
What you talking about?
You know when they say T and it's involved with like, you know.
Oh, well, we're talking
like,
about
see
trans for trans.
Oh, you mean tea like the drink?
yeah,
Okay.
So when we talking about this, right, and it seems like at one point for me, I felt like it was celebrated. Oh, I'm only gonna date this person, or I'm only gonna date that person. The pros and cons of that I've been able to witness. I don't. Not saying that I don't believe in T for T, that it could be successful, but I just know that there's a high level of propensity towards violence that exists within those relationships.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
I think I see what y'all are saying, but I think the problem is that people.
You seen it, right? You know what I mean.
Yeah.
I know
In your
I'm not-
relationships, you have violence?
The violence doesn't have to be
I
physical
have
either.
experienced it, yeah.
At balls attacking each other with trophies.
So
I
the
seen
only
that, I'm
reason
like,
why
With trophies?
Yeah.
So let me just ground the question a little bit. The only reason why I wanted to ask that, because we keep talking about dating, and then we celebrate, oh, T for T, and I see a lot of people even put that in their bios.
But I think it's
But-
unfair to just say that that's with the trans relationship.
Because that's
I'm
not all of
saying-
them.
That's
No,
not-
I didn't say all. I said
There's a propensity.
there's a
for,
high propensity of violence. And
I don't know if it's a high
Hold
propensity.
up, wait a minute. Don't move forward from that. We're not going to make that a funny situation. because
No, I'm not trying to make it
like,
funny.
yeah,
No, but I've heard you
I
say
just don't
this
want
a
to
lot
spread
of times.
misinformation.
Yeah, like I don't want it
But
to be
it's
like.
not misinformation because I'm not.
But that's the relationships you've seen with
No.
your kids and their people.
I'm talking about what I've witnessed.
with a lot of
That's
trans,
what-
with a lot of
the
T for
trans
T.
community, like that, you know, she
See,
has a lot
it's
of fun.
not
But
it's
you
not
know,
even
she
the
would
fact
know.
that I have sons. It's the fact of what I'm able to care when I'm engaging with community. Trying
Are
to
these
help.
the young kids? Are these young
It
kids
doesn't.
that
No,
in
here's the thing. It
relationships?
doesn't vary between age. There are a lot of elder trans people who also suffer from abuse. So it's not an age thing. I'm talking about the physical violence that is caused towards each other. I'm not saying all trans relationships, but let's really talk about it because it happens and it exists. And the only way that we're going to be able to talk about it is by creating an opportunity to talk about it. And why do you guys think that exists? exist?
I am going to say we don't have the stats on how high abusive relationships exist within T4T communities. What I think is happening personally, though, is that a lot of folks are, yes, sometimes it can be trendy, I think, for some people, and I mean in that they see this thing, they realize that they can date other trans people, but they're not taking the time to dismantle their attractions, dismantle their ways of thoughts, and how they show up when they're dating cis people, right? And so they get happy because it's like, right, there's trauma bonding. And as trans people generally, across all spectrums, we are probably the most traumatized folks in many oppressed communities. And so unless you're going to therapy to like fix that, you are going to probably traumatize the other person and vice versa. But I don't think it is any higher than, say, a cis person thing. I honestly think the most toxic community is the butch queen versus the butch queen versus community, to be honest. But we see T4T more often because we are within the trans community. And so it's the first thing on our feeds. But just because
attacks, though, I feel like there is an issue as far as I think it has gotten better. I feel like even for myself.
I think those people will attack anybody that they date.
No, but I'm not.
I don't think
it
has anything to do with like.
I don't know about you. I can't. Really,
that's a good point, right? If you saying if they dated a cis person, they would probably. That's what I'm trying to say.
You gotta also.
So here's the thing, and I gotta pause real quick because I just gotta make sure you get in the cab. The reason why I asked that before I put a pin in it, the reason why I asked that is because we are trans, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're having a trans conversation. So I know that there exists violence within the cis community. I know that violence exists within, the male, like the butch queens level. I'm talking about us.
Right.
So this is not an opportunity for us to reflect on, well, no, it's not just this large propensity of number. What I'm saying is within our community.
I think within our community anyway, like we talked about one time before, because we're fighting so hard for love that once you get somebody, you become so possessive, like this is mine. And then the toxicity and the like all that fighting and stuff comes up. I mean, me speaking from at a younger age, I did have some, like, there was some violence in my relationship. I dated but that's what cis means.
No, but I have something to say too after you.
That wasn't just with a trans man. It was with the trans man, but it was also with the cis man.
And this is what I'm gonna say. Wait, can I add something I think is related to all of us?
I wasn't abusive. I'm saying that.
Police coming right now.
Hold on.
Wait. Can I add something to that?
So much younger, yes.
Wait, can we
I
pause
hope it's helping me.
It's helping all of us, actually.
Can
Can I just? It's going to take me 2 seconds.
Okay.
I think that as trans people, we have the least access to the resources that we need. One of those resources being therapy. We're the last group of folks that will go seek therapy because we either think we don't need it, or we don't have the money, or we don't know where to go look for these people, and we are dating other folks who are also not going to therapy and or haven't been in therapy, or at least aren't trying to work on themselves in some kind of way. And I think it shows up then when we are in relationships with other T4T people. But maybe more, but it also shows up as Tempress was saying, or Chastity was saying, it shows up when we are dating cis people too. It's not just in our T4T relationships. And maybe it just seems, again, I think it just seems heightened because that's what's on our
cis people do it. Sometimes you grew up seeing it in your household. You grew up seeing that in your household.
And we don't have the resources to have communications, that soft communication that will help us get through.
That's the response, right? That's a great response. I'm not saying that violence doesn't exist in any other relationship. I'm saying that. Not saying that it doesn't. I'm talking about we're trans here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
So
you never
let's talk
dated another trans.
No, but I've been able to triage it, especially when some are suffering from rape, when some have been sexually assaulted, when some have been.
And so they're coming in with the trauma.
And you heard about that too. So my thing is,
you had told me.
right. So my thing
Wait,
is,
you saying a trans person raped them, or they already coming into
No,
that relationship
they
being raped?
say a lot of trans
Men have
men.
been.
You said a lot of trans
men have said they've
were
been sexually assaulted.
That is a
So
thing.
my thing is,
By
there
a
is
trans woman?
Yes. And by
like they
butch
would say
women.
stuff
Right.
like
So
no, but
understand
the
what
stuff
I'm
that
trying
she
to
would
say.
say
Yeah, I
to
never
me.
heard
What I'm
that.
saying.
What was
Understand.
that she had told me?
I think, listen, with the work that I do, I engage a lot of community. And a lot of times they are either fleeing from trauma, addressing trauma, or sometimes they are at the point of getting help, right? And I have witnessed a lot of violence, and it behooves me that we don't want to have the conversation correctly without deflecting and saying, well, no, they have it over here, they have it over here.
They do.
No,
I don't
let's
think it's
address
reflecting,
it.
but it's true. But
I'm not
also,
trying to-
let's talk about this because I know that sometimes this does happen as well.
Can we, oh God.
Trans men.
Go ahead, tell the truth, because you know this is
So
waiting.
the testosterone.
Oh, wait, hold on.
That's another
I
T
seen
word.
that
y'all.
one coming.
So the testosterone.
I love that T word.
know it was coming.
So the testosterone makes you a little extra sexual, right?
I'm dead.
That's what I thought. She
No.
Aggressive too.
Okay.
Me
Because
too.
they-
Aggressive too.
I
So
raised
that was
boys.
the problem.
I
That
raised-
was the problem. That's
Listen,
my trans
I
men
raised
slapped me
boys.
first before, but
Right,
so
I
I was
done
like, wait
seen
a
them
minute,
pop
bitch.
off, and then the minute you pop back off on them,
They
it's
be-
like, ah! I'm
Yeah.
like, but you just punched this girl in the face.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna
that
ask, where were they
too.
in their transition, and was it puberty?
And see, that's what we were young. Like that's what I think. A lot of those people that are fighting are younger. Like they.
No, it's not.
I just hope. Well, look, when it comes to we were talking about the testosterone, so that does make you guys a little extra aggressive.
I have to disagree.
It
I
doesn't
need to
make you
hear that.
aggressive.
I'm fine, personally. But I know what I was like when I first started T, and it definitely did at one point, but you level out. There are people, for instance, a great example of this is the way that cis men stare women down, and it peeves me so much because if I could look away, you could look away too. We're both on the same amount of testosterone. It's an excuse, I think, at the end of the day, for some people to use T. Exactly. People just don't want to work on themselves. That's what it is. It's not the T.
And I think that even when it comes to the fighting, like it's therapy. Like I'm in therapy. Like I would never. I
I also
a lot
feel
of
like some
times it's
people
younger
don't know how to
people.
get in touch with that, like in touch with and appreciate who that is. Like it's not just getting, because even when I started on my hormones, I had to realize that I have these things a part of me now, and I had to understand what it was. So that's what I,
transition.
yeah.
See,
I think you have to
Tabytha
realize.
doesn't think that the hormones
transition.
like I can identify, bitch. My hormones change me. Like I'm moody sometimes.
It don't change. It
or
just adds
whatever.
something to every, you know.
Yeah, but it does something to us that we have to acknowledge.
Well, I'm not
I already
saying
have
that.
leveled
I'm
out,
not
so
saying
I-
that I don't. I just okay. I'm not saying that things don't happen to us as we're transitioning, right? Something you said about when we balance it out, or we kind of know how to normalize what we're feeling.
We will level out.
We will level.
eventually,
Okay,
yes.
level out. So that's the word, right? And this is why I always say it's important to go to an endocrinologist so they can help you
I
level
go
it
to
out
endocrinologist,
a lot sooner.
and I
I'm
leveled
not
out,
finished.
but my first couple of days, bitch, I'm still gonna
So
be
for
sleepy,
me,
I'm still gonna be
I've
hungry,
watched
and
some-
I'm still gonna be moody.
Right?
Those
And-
things
and-
do not change.
And she's not lying.
It's just like when a woman's on her menstrual.
And she's not lying.
There's certain
Because
things
she's
that come
definitely
with it.
moody, and we all know to stay away from Tempress when she
It's
takes
not
her
that
shot.
bad. It's just
It's
for
bad.
the first couple of days, I am moody. Like,
So
I don't
here's the
know.
Well,
thing.
there's a there is scientific proof. Wow, I can't speak. There's scientific proof that trans women experience periods, so that could also be part of it.
So again,
Is that
I'm on mental
mentally?
period.
I'm not saying.
No,
I'm
about
not saying.
like your body, and yes, maybe a little bit mentally, but you do feel it in
yeah, just
trans
like
women.
if you just like if
experience
you
periods.
everything.
So
You might
again,
not bleed, but everything else that comes
Again,
with it
here's
happens.
here's another support to that theory is when you're taking a lot of estrogen and you begin to lactate. And
Right.
now you see
Never
the girls
lactated.
lactate.
A lot of my
I
friends
have.
lactate. A lot
I
of my
have.
friends lactate.
And what happens is you think that you're
Cause
chewing.
y'all taking Depo, but y'all.
No, but you think that you're
my
chewing.
God.
Y'all
And
taking
you like,
Depo, y'all know it's something to get
you
Depo
think
right
that
now.
you think that you're chewing. Now
Right,
I'm
right.
gonna break this thing down because right. You think that you're chewing it, but now you have too much estrogen in you where it's starting to have the counter effect, and now your body is raging against it. So instead of looking soft, you begin to not have the desired effect. So exactly. So what I'm trying to get going back to the rise of or the violence that exists within community. You're saying this because people are not being met mentally or being addressed or seeking out the help that they need, and that's where that comes from. I'll take that, and I will say that. How do we combat that violence, and how do we turn that around? Because you just jumped out and was like, you know about it. So
Yeah,
from
I
your
think-
take on it, what do you think?
I think we're really focused on physical, but there's so much more.
Oh yeah.
It's emotion,
Sexual.
mental, physical. Like it's a lot. It's a wide spectrum.
Right.
Of abuse?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course. Even verbal.
Wait, we back on
Do
that?
y'all think trans women are very like? Do they challenge your
I think
sexuality? Like like do cis women too? Does that happen? Like
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Yeah.
I think all women challenge.
Well, how difficult is for y'all dating life? How difficult is for y'all dating life? We heard about yours. What about y'all? Like how?
I'm single right now. Last year,
Ladies, y'all heard that? No, but the reason why I wanted to keep it on us is because honestly, I want us to be able to have that conversation and answer it, right? But I'm not vilifying T for T. And you know, me and you have this conversation.
We have this conversation every week.
Right? Because I'm just really like, because
But
No,
I do
because
want to say something else because it's really important back on what Chinxx said.
Yeah.
That abuse isn't always physical, and there's a lot of mental and emotional abuse that goes unseen because a lot of it can sometimes just be little stuff that adds up and snowballs over time. But when it snowballs, it hits hard and fast. And then the thing that I'm experiencing, or I have experienced, and I'm sure y'all may have experienced too, is the whole thing that we put on cis men of you can't express your emotions or like talk about the fact that you are being emotionally or mentally abused. It's just kind of like shut up and deal with it. That is a conversation that isn't had enough in community, and a lot of that is pushed onto us by trans feminine people, and that's my biggest concern. Because we come again when we're saying that's my other issue with T for T is like you're coming to the table and saying you want to be in a T for T relationship. I'm gonna treat you like the woman that you are, but I'm also gonna know that you're a person of trans experience. Do not treat me like a cis man. Don't talk to me like a cis man. Don't shut my emotions down like a cis man. I'm gonna talk to you.
That's where we differ.
See, that's
Right.
why I couldn't.
That's
That's why I
don't want
couldn't.
that. You're not gonna
It's
talk
hard
to
for
me.
me to do
Yes.
that.
You're not
Yeah.
gonna treat me any kind of way, and see that's where we differ because I feel like that's not like that's what you see, that's what I am, and that's what you're gonna give me.
No, I'm talking about.
So-
I'm not saying don't treat me like a man in terms of my identity. Don't treat me like a cis man in terms of shutting my emotion. When I'm talking to you emotionally, face that. That's where I'm coming at.
I've heard that.
yeah,
That's what.
so
I'm
you
not
get
saying
that.
don't treat me like.
That's why-
I understand what you're saying.
So wait, let me
I'm
stop
a
it.
man,
That's
but
it.
also
But I like
sit here
that.
and take in my emotions too as a man. Is that what you're? That's what I'm saying. For not for me, but also for all the trans masculine people, because
totally agree.
it literally it gets shut down so quickly. Well, I don't want to hear that. Wait, are we not in a relationship? Is this not
See, but
reciprocated?
that's what I like
Wait,
about
what?
trans men is that I feel that they can be more in touch with
Okay.
their feelings.
Okay, so let's talk about that part. So now, when I speak to a lot of trans women, whether it be my sisters, whatever the case may be, they say that. But then on the other end, it's like, oh, he's too emotional. He's too emotional. Girl,
You acting like a little
And then
girl.
that's when the
You
misgendering
acting like
comes.
a little
And that's
girl.
and that's when the
That's where the
misgendering
abuse-
comes.
Hey,
Which is
Gonzalez,
crazy.
you acting like a
Because
little
the most
girl.
emotional
You acting
people
like
I've
a
ever
bitch.
met are cisgender
girl.
men. Yes, that's exactly what they say. Why you acting like a little girl? And it's like, yo,
I
you
think that's
asked
the
me.
hormone. Like, I be thinking like that's the hormone.
It's not the hormones,
But that's
though.
what I be
That's
feeling
you
like.
looking at them differently than like
No, because it's like.
It is
This needs to be conversation needs to be had.
Thank you.
The different perspectives, the different age groups.
Personal, because I would tell a cis man, bitch, you acting like a bitch.
See?
Like,
And that's
you know
the
what I'm
thing.
saying? Like,
Exactly, but
so
that's
a
You
not
gotta
cis
walk
man
on
is gonna take it
eggshells. That's why I
different.
couldn't
But
date.
would
That's why I
you
could never do it.
appreciate it
You
if I
gotta
be
walk
like,
on
you act like a nigga right
eggshells.
now?
No, bitch, you
Exactly,
would never say
exactly.
that.
Wait, you can't block me out the
Call it.
I definitely think that there's a double standard.
And that's why this conversation is so important.
Can we throw the ball back over
That's
here?
why
Because
this
you kind of
conversation-
quiet.
Quiet.
Yeah, are you okay?
Mugler.
Just say, Miyake!
The edible kicking in.
I should have brought some shrooms for y'all so y'all could have perked up a little bit.
Oh, nah.
I don't know what they're talking about.
So for me, as far as dating goes, yes, I'm single. I'm talking to somebody, but I'm not really like, my eggs is not all in one basket. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, nah. in September last year was the end of my 3-year relationship. Not gonna say who it was, but also even within that time that we was broken up until probably like June, it was still like a back and forth, an argument, putting each other down, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not perfect.
What's your sign?
Sagittarius.
Oh, child, y'all know.
Damn, that was rude. I like Sagittarius. Hi.
Happy.
No, Sag is a chill. My best friend is a Sag. They're mad
Half
chill.
man, half beast.
I'm dead.
Wait, what's that
How many
sign?
times you blocked that?
I'm an Aries.
Like they
Right.
get blocked for people and stuff. I don't mean to call you up. When I say bitch, I don't.
I think
But see, that's the.
Yeah.
I want to get back to that. I want to get back to that, like the disrespect and not what to say, what you can say. I feel like
I
that's
think
the
that
part
happens
that's
a
the
lot,
problem.
and I
The double
hear
standard
that
is
come
frequent.
back when they get so frustrated because they're like, she's not listening to me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to express myself, and I listen to everything she got to say, but when
That's
I
why my
start
friend
talking,
said left me. It feels She was like, "Did you said enough shit, bitch?"
like, I ain't never
But
gonna
I
let me
never
talk.
looked at him. But honestly and truly, I never looked at him anything different than a man. I was just trying to hurt his feelings at the time. Because
You were
mine
trying
was
to hurt his feelings.
because mine was hurt.
But-
so I was like, "You hurt my feelings. I'm gonna try to hurt your feelings." But never would I thought. Because this person showed up so confident, I didn't think that really anything that I could say would ever hit at that. And this was pre-transition. Like, this was before, like, me really, like, moaning and stuff. Now I've realized, like, okay, bitch, no, I was trying it. Because if anybody said any of those type of things, it would be given, no, you don't respect my transition. And this is why I feel like T4T should work, because no one else is ever going to understand a transition. If you
Maybe after
haven't been through
therapy.
a transition, you will never understand it. No matter how much we tell you, you will never completely understand a transition. But a person who has been through it, I feel like that's what you should be able to relate on in a
But
relationship.
I also feel like I definitely concur with what you're saying, but I also feel like it also goes back to what she was saying as far as self-work. And you have to do that self-work before you allow someone else to come into your world, or you go into someone else's.
Yeah.
So it's like,
That's true. Because we aren't just bringing our traumas from our childhood. Sometimes you bring your baggage from your other relationships. I've had that thrown at me. I'm like, they'll be like they'll describe a cis man. And I'm just sitting
So
there
let
looking
me
at them
ask y'all
like,
a
what does that have to
question.
do with me?
Let me ask y'all a question, because I know that, it's a broad statement when we talk about violence, whether it be physical, mental, emotional. My thing is, in the perfect world, what type of person would you see yourself with? Like, what type of person do you like? And like, what would it take for you to have a successful relationship? And this is for the viewers watching who may be interested.
I ain't dating nobody that's watching.
I'm just saying, I'm not trying to say interested in.
No offense. No, it's not that. Cause
What I'm trying to say is
I've
this.
had some stalking instances and shit is crazy.
No, we're not talking about those type of people. I'm talking about, because it's, to me, like, what is it going to take? I've seen some successful relationships out here. Some of them are always like, when I talk to other people, I'm like, well, that violence doesn't exist in this relationship, so why does it exist here? Right? So my thing is, what type of person do you think will make you feel like you're seen, you're heard, and you're respected in your identity?
You're saying like asking them the type of gender that
Not gender, the
just
type
no,
of person,
what
the
they're
quality of a
Oh.
person.
someone that is healed.
Or on their way to being healed.
Absolutely.
I don't want to deal with no more toxic shit. I can't.
It's more prevalent though than we think. That's the problem, But
I think a lot of that, I think that has to do with your self-accountability, because you know who
Let's
you
go,
dating.
Asia.
Those red flags are hitting you from the beginning anyway. I think a
go,
lot of
Asia.
times.
take off the rose
I
colored
think
glasses.
a lot of times you
agree.
try to do your self-work. It's not about the other people,
Agreed.
because when you get in a certain place, those type of people are knocking at your door. The type of people that should be compatible with you, because your mind is in a different place anyway. Those red flags you see instantly after therapy. When you're in therapy, you see those red flags that you didn't quite see before. You see them so quickly that beautiful individual that you was so mesmerized by is now like, oh, I don't really, because you see the red flag.
Do you think that it's looked down upon before? Like, are y'all not, y'all, you said,
They didn't answer the
you
question,
said
though.
women. You said only women, or would you date a male?
No, I would not date.
You wouldn't date one?
No.
Is that because just what y'all are physically attracted to, or do you feel like community kind of, or the girls
I have
look
dated a
down
male.
on? You dated
I
a
have
male?
dated a male
Okay.
in my past life.
Oh yeah, but not
Yeah.
not.
Oh,
As
in
a-
drag. I had to think about it. It was like past life.
Yeah, my
I say in my
life.
past life I was in drag. That's what I call it.
Okay.
You said it.
Like
drag. You looked at me like, wait a second, what are you doing, drag?
You see how she was getting ready to chastise it? Oh, that's what you like? You see?
No.
This is
No, I
what
call
happens,
pre-transition
people.
in drag. That's what I mean. You were like, wait a
No,
second.
I was just thrown on free.
And you know the parallel between the worlds that we live in is that this same conversation, and this is why I say in the beginning I didn't want to push it out there to the other genders, is because I needed the audience to see that we share the same issues within us dating as anyone else, but I didn't want us to speak to their existence. We needed
Right.
to speak to ours.
Right.
So we can show them that we're having these same conversations that y'all are having. So when you look at us, it's important that you see us as in our humanity first, because we have the same shared struggles, we have the same shared challenges, you know. But for me, being like when I'm service provider or connecting people to support, it's so harmful and hurtful when I hear it and I see it and I don't have the solution. And I didn't think that either, like I would have, you know, not saying that y'all gonna come and here's the solution. What I'm saying is having the conversation is the beginning of the solution.
Yes. Well, I got a quick question for Tabytha. Do you think maybe because you were saying there's a high propensity, but some of the violence in for T relationships, but what I'm hearing from you too is that maybe a lot of people in the community feel safe coming to you with the things that are happening to them, and that's good, right? But that's also giving you only one perspective, or like of a problem, a huge problem, yes, but it's not. I've seen a lot of T relationships that are super successful.
Me too.
That's what I'm saying. I have.
I've seen that.
No, I have. I know
definitely-
one
I'm
that
one
I
of my close
always.
friends.
I know one that I definitely always try to, and I told them I used. You know,
Oh, I
like
know who you're
I
talking
always. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I always use them as an example because I've watched them go through the fire together and come out and snatch each other out, pull each other up, separate, come back, and they're still together.
But they are doing it in healthy ways when they're coming back. That's the difference.
Right.
Because-
So
and they're talking about what toxic thing did you do before, and then that would be my ideal relationship if I had to point anything out. The two of them,
Together.
or rather the
So
whole family
one of them
them.
I'm inviting to the couch at one point. I promise you, like, because I think it's important that we show those flip sides,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That we are we are worthy of love. We can have successful relationships, and we are worthy of that. You understand what I'm saying? Everything doesn't have to be toxic. Thank you for your vulnerability and say that I too was toxic. But I think that we put these monikers on our behaviors because we're not willing to address our behaviors.
Question. So I'm just want to ask what some of the people want to ask. You know, too, like, you know. So a lot of times when you date within community like trans women or whatever, do they automatically assume what your sexual position is?
Oof, isn't that?
Yes.
They do.
Not for me.
Not for you.
Yes, they do.
I have a question.
I don't want to say automatically.
Baby, the way they gonna tear y'all up.
I kind of want to ask this because I have a second question. Okay, so I know a lot of trans men that say that trans women have a problem with them top, like they want to go and feel like they can top them as well, and sometimes they don't allow them to, or they look at it like no. You know, you hear the girls say like stuff. One time you was caught up in.
Not me. What do you mean? You've never seen that.
Wait, say it one time you said something that they try to use it against you.
Okay, not for me, but in conversation, like a lot of my friends, a lot of my girlfriends do date trans men,
Okay.
and they have a lot of the conversation, a lot of the things that they were saying to me. I was like, oh wow, really? This was going on? Like it was like certain things that they were telling me that kind of was like, you know.
Like T.S. Madison
I just
made
don't want.
the
I don't want to
comment.
say it.
I don't
Oh,
want to. She don't. You
she
know.
did.
I don't want to. You know. She had made something about the comment about. You know. I think being penetrated. I forgot what you said.
Yeah, a prosthetic.
But you hear girls saying that, oh no, I wouldn't want a guy to strap on and stuff. Does that happen to you? Do you have that? You don't have that?
No, I'm lying. I did it. My relation, my ex-relationship.
So that happens. Does that?
It's like 50-50. I think the people that I end up dating definitely know what I'm about to do and what I'm not about to do. But the folks that make assumptions, I shut it down real fast.
Okay. And
that definitely has been.
And when did it become a fetish? Like, so the testosterone.
How do we get back here?
Because I didn't finish this. Like, you know, this is stuff that people want to know. Like the same thing, like they ask us, like all these questions.
That's a fire.
Okay.
So like the testosterone makes you extra sexual.
I've leveled out.
I would say in the beginning of my transition, which is why I made it a point to move across the country. In the beginning of my transition, yes, I was very like, whoa, what's up? Like, yeah. Like,
But we got to
puberty-
name that what it is, which is puberty.
Actually,
Right.
the puberty,
Okay.
it hit me hard, and that's why I
like
made the
that.
decision to
I like that.
Yeah.
I
go
like
to
that.
Arizona
I like that.
and, you know, work. And
That's
do
what I'm
what
gonna
I
start
had to
calling
do
it.
and-
Gag.
No, it
When
really
I'm
is
going to
puberty.
my-
You're
yeah.
experiencing puberty again.
That's
Okay.
it.
And that's exactly what it is.
That's good. Okay, I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah. So I was wondering, when does it become like? When do you feel like you're being fetishized? Like, cause I know there's some trans men that are straight up and they be like, they move like, like they're out there like, bitch, I'm trying to get mine, or whatever. So when do you feel like,
Y'all sitting here like, now y'all sitting here making these faces like what she's saying ain't right. Like, now come on now. We're not going to
let's
sit.
say on one show, like you're
I
behind
get
some,
it.
like,
I get it.
Okay, so
Totally
let's
get it.
not sit
I get
here
it.
and act like, oh
As
my
far
God,
as-
we don't do that. Y'all do that.
As far, yeah,
I have
can't
leveled
speak
out.
for everyone, but as far as what other people do, I can't speak for them.
Right.
But what you have
When you're
done.
dating and when you're outside and you're doing certain things, yeah, that's not an issue for me.
so
But as
somebody
far
pull
as-
up in your inbox like, oh, I'm just trying to like,
No,
is that offensive?
absolutely not.
That's offensive.
Absolutely not. We're not doing that. It has to be. There has to be some kind of a relationship.
Okay.
There has to be some kind of a bond for me to like. It's
Have
I don't-
sex.
Same for you.
I've never done just
Same for you.
casual hookup kind of thing.
Really?
It
So
don't
y'all
have
not
to
a
be-
cat?
What, you opposite?
I also want to make a big distinction right now because I am non-monogamous. It's not the same as me being a hoe, but I have my hoe periods and then I don't want to deal with anybody. But I will say this. There are a couple of girls in community, not that who you're thinking about, after that person,
After that person, damn.
who I was curious about and wanted to link up with. And I'm going to say this. I thought it was like a hangout situation. If you just want to do things, that's fine. But like be straight up with it right away.
So
Don't,
you don't
wait,
want
let me finish. Don't be like, let's hang out, and then 2 seconds later, you're sending me weird ass sex memes. Like, I'm not about to do that. That's a huge turn off for me. I'm gone. I would rather just go to sleep at the end of the day.
Yeah, cause I don't want nobody just talking about sex off the rip with me. I'm different.
It
I'm
depends,
fine
it
with
depends
that.
to me because I feel like sometimes it's given that. Like sometimes you mean some.
That thing.
No, I'm not. I'm comfortable in my stage, like whatever that is.
Let's
and
go.
I think I'm like
Talk your
whatever.
shit,
Why you
What
said let's go with me, bitch? I said I'm out of that
whoever
stage, bitch.
if I'm meeting someone and we're
Let's go.
grown, like we're grown as fuck. If I'm meeting someone and we want to just have sex, we're just gonna have sex. My thing is, I used to feel
Yeah,
away.
fine as
I
shit.
used to feel away about people be like, oh yeah, I want to fuck you. Da 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 da. I didn't just say stuff like that immediate, and I would just, within my type, I would block them. But now where I'm at, I understand. Sometimes it's given that.
Well, it also has to be.
I'm at me just trying to fuck
No,
you,
it has to
bitch.
be the language.
what?
Like you do
Like-
have to flirt first. You can't just be like, "I want to fuck you." Oh, you're gone. Like
Some
that's a
people don't know
dub.
how to have that type of
Yeah,
conversation.
Right.
I don't even
I'm
talk.
just
I'm
I'm
not.
not
No.
fuck me, bitch. I'm out of that stage. I'm fucking
Key,
out.
honey.
Ladies, can I ask y'all a question?
Oh, see, this ain't that type of show.
Not your show.
I'm just kidding.
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead.
As far as your dating life, have you ever, or needed to, or wanted to, have you ever like played, before you transitioned? Have you ever basically told a guy that you weren't trans? And how did you go about it?
Oh, that's
like
fascinating.
Pussy stunt.
So I'm having a problem now with the trans, and you can like not tell somebody trans that you're trans right away.
And
well,
did something.
Tell
I
another
do
trans
agree with
person?
that. I do
Would you
agree
have
with that.
sex?
But
Wait,
no, not as far as having sex.
So what he's asking is, have you disclosed that you're
right,
trans
right.
when
Do
you
you
first
dis-
meet
disclose
someone,
your transition
or do you
when you
wait?
meet
I'm having
Or-
such an issue with that because guys, when I'm telling them now,
They leave.
yes, they stop calling me. Like I'm like I probably need to be outside in drags, bitch, so they know right away or something or whatever. Because I'm having the last few people that I have been talking to, and I do tell you, like, at least I had one conversation first. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't just want to be like, hey, I'm trans. Like, you know, whatever. Like, I don't. I'm going to
Hey,
like,
my name is.
Right, is it even worth it? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it even worth it? Is it going to go any further in
Fair
the
enough.
last, like, few 5 guys that I've met? And then we'll have a conversation, and then I tell him, like, they stop talking to me. One guy, I did let him take me out to eat because he was, you know, he was like other different race, and I know he wasn't going to get it anyway. And so I was like,
So you need that free meal.
Damn.
like,
On
bitch,
top of
right
the
before
free meal?
Albert
Right here, don't miss
decided-
that.
No, I didn't need the free meal, but it was
I didn't say you needed
No,
it.
it's ain't give
it was
us.
fine. It was
You gonna
fine.
leave it?
Oh no, okay.
You got
Yeah.
it. No, that's fine.
But yeah, so now, like I just met another fine guy. Like I was just telling him, I'm like, bitch, I'm scared to tell him because, bitch, what if he packed me again? Like,
Pack
so,
you, oh, like pack you
I
up?
can't. I don't
Like,
want to
stop
do.
talking to me.
I dealt with that when I first started transitioning. When I first started, I used to like to do that. That's what we all used to like to play that game. And I got brokenhearted. A guy that I fell in love with, he broke my heart when I told him my tea, and he just cut me off.
Ooh.
And that broke my heart. So in that moment, I was like, I'm never doing that. I'm never not. I don't want to have that type of conversation because some guys don't want to even have that type of conversation. Like they don't care to know about it. They don't like some guys don't. So and I feel like it's so confusing now, dating wise. I feel like a little bit.
in Atlanta, yo, they ain't give a fuck. In Atlanta, I would tell them they ain't here.
I
I
just
had a
feel-
whole stable. Up here, like Atlanta, I always had like you know.
You said
what I'm
a
saying?
whole
Yeah, I'm
stable.
always like, yeah, what's up, man? We gonna chill, blah blah blah. You know, up here, like. when
Oh, no, I definitely
guys,
have. Up here is I'm
it
from
changed
here,
into,
so
like,
it's different.
yeah,
like
you know how to
I
move.
know how to
I'm
move.
from here too, though.
Yeah.
Can I say
elaborate
something?
on confused? You said
I feel
the
like
world's
dating right
confusing.
now. I feel like dating for me is mentally confusing for me because I don't want to have the type of conversation about trans. I don't care to have that. Like, oh yeah, I'm trans. I've been this way for 40 years. You know, I don't
Because
want
it's not
to.
every part of you. Either.
Yes, like
40
I'm
years.
human. Like I'm not just like trans. I'm a lot of different things, and I do
That's-
love being
that's-
trans.
that's what
I
I'm
do
saying.
love being trans. It's not that.
I
It's
think
just.
it's easier for y'all.
No, wait, can I
I
say
just-
something? I want to circle this back into T for T real quick. Y'all going to be a little bit upset about what I'm about to say. Something that I have noticed, and this is obviously not an attack on all trans women, but sometimes, and I hate to bring it to genitals, sometimes some trans women with bottom surgery have had run-ins where with cis men that won't date them because the cis men are trying to fetishize them, right? But then they'll know that they can get attention from trans men, and then we'll date the trans men, but not. And I've had this experience. That's why I'm saying it. Obviously, this is not us. It's a really bad take. I know, but I have seen it happen, and I think that has to be talked about too, because I know of a lot of trans women that have literally said to their sisters, "Oh, I'm just dating him because I'm getting attention."
What? No, I think that's
Yeah, I
so.
don't agree with
That's
that.
so. Yeah, so. Mm-mm.
I don't know if that's y'all's experience. I just know I know many. I don't know if it's y'all's experience. I don't know if it's y'all's experience. I just know of many people who have said and done those things. And for me, seeing it happening and having it happen to me is very hurtful.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be honest. So it was one time me and a trans man. I never dated a trans man ever, but it was one trans man that we had a good conversation, and like he was one. I was like, damn, who is like we was into. Into each other, but it was giving sexual on both ends. And we had a deep conversation, and we're both Leo, so we're honest and we don't give a fuck. So we was in the room and we was just like, we both said we never done this before, ever. So we wanted to be each other's first, ever to ever do that. We didn't do it, cause whatever, but we both I got nervous. He got nervous too. We both got nervous.
Was it both your first times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's different
We
than what
both-
I'm saying though.
yeah.
It's not the same thing.
Okay,
Like you
okay.
had good intentions as opposed to like.
Yeah. Like they wanted to do certain things, and I was like, okay.
But that's not every trans man.
That's not.
Wait, is that where that question came from? Or y'all just out here doing whatever?
Yeah,
You know the girls be scaring other girls. You know girls be scaring other girrs too. They be like girls be scaring other girls too. They be like, girl, and you hear shit like that. You like, wait, what you talking about? Like, especially the shit that I hear.
I feel like I've had some really deep connections with trans men. I was in a relationship for a really deep relationship, but that was like prior to my like transition. That was like before I started modeling and stuff. And then I had just kind of kicked it with a couple after that. I became like best friends with one, and we still was like I just knew we couldn't be together because of certain reasons or whatever. But yeah, it was just like, what's going to happen, like sexually? Like it has to be. So I just feel like this person, for me, I'm attracted to masculinity in whatever way that shows up. And so I just need for my person to be masculine. And that doesn't mean that dictates everything that we do in the bed. It just means that it can't be a one-sided thing. And it also means that I have to see you in that way to be able to be comfortable with whatever.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I feel like I never done it it was a couple times it was gonna go there for me, and it didn't because for some reason I love masculine men who know, like, I like to feel like a dog. Like, I like when men go after me, like, or I don't like when we're I don't want to meet in the middle, like. Take advantage of it. Like these type of things, like do the things, and I feel like but I like that type. But I like stuff like that. That's how.
That's cool.
No, but I like stuff like that. No. But I'm saying
what's concerning is if there's no verbal consent.
Well, you have verbal, like you already have that when we're in each other's space, in that space, and I want a guy to show up in that way, and I feel like sometimes the conversations I have with trans men, they just never attack that energy from me.
I don't know. I like
That's
when
not
I did
all
like
trans
they treat you right. Like I feel like the ones that I was with, they definitely treated me like a queen. Like it was like,
oh no, they always. I feel like even my trans men brothers. I mean, they treat me like a queen.
They treat you like the ultimate woman, and so that's what I did enjoy about it, and I love that we can have good conversations. I feel like cis men a lot of times are so cut off with their emotions or whatever, and I don't like that. Like I feel like, bitch, express it to me. I don't care. I don't like all that toxic masculinity. Yeah. Like you need to be able to express your feelings to me. We need to be able to have conversations that make sense outside of sex. Like I don't want to talk about sex all the damn time. So I also don't want to be with a trans man who is gonna want to be like having sex all the time either. Like, I'm a mature woman now, but it's just kidding. I can't.
I would take someone in your lane.
Yeah.
In your lane, that's in that age range to understand.
I'm not cut off on it. I just think I probably do need a more mature trans man who, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They exist.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Well, now we know. So.
What about you, Seth?
Yeah, because I just saw, like, when she said that the lean-in from y'all was a gag, and I hope y'all caught that. Because, baby, that's going to be the real. When she said that, y'all was like, but why you don't like trans men? Y'all was at her screams. So I want y'all to notice that. But I really want to say thank y'all. I think that, this has been a great conversation for me. This is my first time meeting you. I guess me and you the cool ones. We kind of sat back and watched everything happen. But
the sneaky be quiet.
the sneaky ones.
But yeah, the sneaky.
But I want you to know that I truly value each one of your perspectives, and I appreciate y'all coming
thank you guys.
to sit with us.
Oh no, we about to do that now.
Do y'all have anything else to say before we play the bowl? Is there anything that we didn't get out from y'all that y'all would like to say?
The go bowl, the one you brought out.
Any myths or anything y'all want to dispel or anything?
Is there a myth that you want to dispel?
Well, I think we dispelled a few myths, right?
I mean, I think we did.
Race is wild and aggressive and crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we did answer some.
No, but I feel like I wish Let me shut up.
All right, we gotta find that person for her and find the
Oh no!
other
I don't.
No, mine
I want somebody that's really aggressive. Like it's more.
I know.
They're more
I
like
know
on the
Asian
demure. They be more soft. They be more. I'm always like that. I'm a Leo. I'm very
But
private.
it's no shade.
Why do you think I'm so quiet?
But it's no shade. I'm with you and I'm with you and I'm with you on that. Like,
You don't even
no. What do you mean?
No, she likes that. She would just be. I feel like she just be chatting.
So no,
She be chatting.
again,
That's Mother Cat.
no. It's certain
That's
things.
Mother
Wait,
Cat.
it's certain things
That's
I
Mother
don't
Cat.
like to do. However, I will say that I love to be soft. I love to be with someone who makes me. She's talking about aggressive.
No, because
said that
but
thing.
any guy
I
that
don't
I think is
want-
gonna make me feel
No,
soft.
wait, no. I don't like. I like a little aggressive sometimes too. Yeah, so I do like the duality. But what I'm saying is if the moment is calling for a bitch, don't be kissing me. Just do what the fuck you gotta do and tear me up. But again, but what I
It
will
could be
say,
both. I like to do whatever. Like I don't like to talk about sex. I don't want to have to tell you to.
And see, I could be.
I like that though.
I don't want to have to tell you that. If you
But
want
you
to
just
come to the
gotta know.
house, if you want to come to the house and destroy me, do that. That's the energy. I shouldn't have to tell you that. And if you want to just make love,
That's true, though.
you make love. It's a
Woo! Yes,
If
ma'am.
that's the energy. Then I
Yes.
say, if that's
You
the
like
energy,
sometimes
that's-
it's cool.
You in the house cook. You in the house cooking.
what she
They just
want.
attack you. Like, what do you mean?
Okay, let's get to the bowl.
Not attacking you, but no, make you. What do you mean?
Let's get to the bowl.
That's what I might do. We'll be right back with the question game. So you know what time it is. This is where we get crazy, we get sexy, and we get cool. This is the Femme Queen Crazy and Sexy Cool Shot Game Hour. And we're about to get messy with the girls. Stay tuned.
All right.
I'm not answering this
Say it
No,
because
you have to say
I
it.
know all these people and I don't want them looking at this and being like, yeah, we're not friends no more.
Answer the question.
Fuck, marry, kill, Laverne Cox, Janet Mocker, MJ
Okay,
Rodriguez.
take a shot.
It's only a. That's
It's just a game.
I am not hurting nobody's feelings.
Aw, that's a nice man.
I'm supposed to be going to dance class.
You said
Y'all about
that
to
so
have me wrecked.
You said that so fast. Who was the names again?
I'm not.
Jenna Mock, Laverne Cox, MJ.
Actually, I wouldn't be able to hurt anyone's feelings because I would marry all of them. But
you're so
He didn't answer the
nice.
question, so
Sing.
take that out.
what is your freakiest kink?
Ooh, you running too fast.
Yeah.
What is your freakiest kink?
There's too many. Someone take a shot.
Oh.
Y'all remember I used to throw BDSM parties, right? Like
did?
they're not
Wow, I
sex
wasn't
parties.
aware of
They're
that.
literally just play parties, which are completely different from sex
Play
parties.
parties?
They're sex
So what's the
positive. You
difference?
don't have to have sex.
But people do be having sex in there?
We can cut off rooms so you can, if you want to do those things. I'm personally not going to do it at the play party because what I do during sex, you're not going to see me having sex in front of other people ever. But you can see me flog people, but that's not the kinkiest thing I've ever done. But I'm not going to tell you.
Whole different, right? I was about to ask that.
Yeah, what is that?
That's beef.
Impact play.
Oh, wow.
What impact? What's the impact play? What's that? Break that down.
Okay, so I'll break it down real quick. Impact can include things like floggers, which yes, it's like you call it beating.
Oh,
it's
yeah, I have
impact.
done that.
You can use a paddle. You can use your hands. I use
done that.
sometimes on my hands. I use a thing called vampire gloves, which has spikes. But if you use it on one person, you are only fluid bonded to that person, right? So because they can end up bleeding. So you have to be careful with certain things. I also don't smack people that hard with it because I don't want blood on me. There's people in the community that do needle play, not for me. There's people in the community that do blood play, that do scat play, not for me, not for me, not for me.
We know all of this.
Damn. I'm like, wait, what?
If I ever throw a party anytime soon, that is a T for T party. I am a huge voyeur. Yes, I love to watch too. You are all welcome
I
to
used to go
come.
to the swingers parties
Yeah, tell us
and
to
with
come.
friends
Yeah,
with
I
like
know.
masks.
It has been a long time since I've been. I've always co-hosted parties, but it's a long time since I've co-hosted a kink party. However, I would love to have a T for T one or all cool.
You said a T for T.
You don't have to. There are T for T ones, but they're very.
Crazy. That goes
I mean, I usually walk around with leather pants and a hat and a harness and a flogger.
Say it again.
What is your love language? So my top, it keeps changing, honestly, but the most consistent is physical touch and quality time. And quality time doesn't always mean I need physical touch. Sometimes I just need you to sit on the other side of the room. That's it.
You didn't answer
That's dope.
my question.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I didn't say what my freakiest kink was, but I just told you what a BDSM party was, and y'all all learned something new.
Remember we said we're not gonna do that. We can't do that. Wait, we cannot do that. We can't do that.
No,
What
but
we
I don't want it
said?
to look like
Never. We
I
already.
Yeah,
You're
say
part of
that.
the. You did. You're part of the team. You're
Oh,
part of the
We
man.
did
team.
right there.
You
Every last
did.
one of us.
It's the go bowl. It's the go bowl.
Good as start.
I'm nervous.
Don't be.
It's the go bowl.
You sing.
You got shots.
They love you regardless.
Name 3 trans men that are overrated.
Ooh.
Talk about it.
Talk your ish.
Oh, they said he used to gangbang, so talk your ish.
Ooh.
You used to
Damn.
Oh, damn. I don't know who the popular trans mass people are
Bunch
anymore.
of them?
I'm taking a shot.
Oh, y'all up in here, see?
He knew. He don't need to be answering that.
All right. How many times were you in love? Twice. That's it, just 2
Are you
times.
picking an easy question?
Oh, this whole one's in here?
No.
I'll answer all 4.
I know those 2 is deadly.
You nervous? Your hands is shaking.
Oh my God. What?
Yo, chill. Which trans man do you want to see on the floor? Butter Alpha Omega.
That would be a nice battle. That would be
All right, last one.
Mind
Do you miss Barbie? Absolutely not.
Oh, that's crazy.
Hold up.
That's crazy.
That's not even.
That's controversial.
You're lucky. He messed up one of the questions. You're lucky. You're lucky.
Oh, I should have gotten this one. Damn.
It just dawned on me.
I did.
So now we got the connection. So this is who Barbie was talking about.
What was she saying?
You have to go back and watch the episode.
Oh, damn.
You gotta put out the house and juice together.
Y'all are
False
so
information.
messy. Y'all are so messy. Oh my God.
Not y'all, Auntie the cool one.
I don't know, Auntie, because you over here thinking about it.
She's sneaking in. She throw the rock and hide.
Did you ever lay with a butch queen and who? No, I have not laid with a butch queen. I'm gonna still take a shot though.
Damn.
Y'all know this thing gonna be down on this episode.
Why? What could they read about it?
Why did you leave the house of Mason Margiela? I left the house of Mason Margiela because I didn't feel supported in many different ways. And I'm gonna still take a shot.
Oh.
I gotta catch up to y'all.
Wow.
Baby, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And that's an honest answer, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Who is your biggest crush?
Be honest.
Like of all time, or in ballroom specifically, or like is this a specific question? Or?
Who is your biggest crush?
My
Who
biggest
is
crush would be Erykah Badu.
That was very safe.
Out of all the femme queens you've laid with,
Who wrote these questions?
That was for you.
Actually, out of all the femme queens you've laid with, who was the best?
Wow. That's messy. Don't answer that.
That was yours, Kay. That was
I can answer that too.
Oh,
then.
I gotta go.
Saying.
I gotta go to Icon Sans class. Bye, y'all.
You gotta give it a couple more seconds.
Nah, it's class started at 4.
So,
Well, he was wearing them for a while, so maybe that was enough.
He said best flag. We
You
said
on
the
to
best
me.
flag.
Yeah. You on one. You on one.
Well, you know, guys, this has been amazing. I'm glad that you guys came and were so transparent with us. And I hope that you guys have learned something out there that you may not have known. And once again, this has been an episode of Femme Queen Crazy.
Sexy.
Cool.
Jesus.